Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? No, you guys, it wasn't tech issues. I've had different types of issues, courier issues. I'll tell you all about it in a minute. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. I hit mornings. Andrew, Lynn D, retired RN, Marilyn Landis, Wendy R, Rachel's here. Good to see you. Marilyn, no, yeah, it's not tech issues. Hey, Danny, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Korea? I don't know if it's Korea. I don't know if it's Korean. Hey, Blaze, how are you? No, I just had to. I was on a phone call. I ordered. We have a 60th birthday on Sunday that I ordered a bunch of stuff for like Monday, and they were supposed to ship it Tuesday. They didn't, and then they shipped it Wednesday. Um, and then it said on the tracking, oh, it'll be here Thursday or Friday. Didn't come yesterday. I was like, oh, I've ordered from this company before. It'll definitely be here on Friday before the weekend. Anyway, after waiting for like 5 hours today, I spoke to our courier who came through this area. I actually saw him come in, and I was like, hey, do you have a parcel for me? He's like, no, and he's like, nope, no, don't have anything for you today. So I rang our postal company called Ozpost or Australia Post. Oh man, I could have killed the person on the other end. I'm serious. You guys could have been watching me on a documentary about people who kill postal workers or something. He's like, well, I tried to be as nice as I could. You know, as stressed out as I was, I tried to be as nice as I could. I was just very firm. And if you get pissed off, Ping, I promise, I'm not the funnest person to talk to. Yeah, I'll show you. See? Expected arrival Thursday the 20th, Friday the 21st. And then, anyway, so they rang me back. They had like 130 people in the queue. They finally rang me back like 2 minutes before the show. And he's like, oh, I explained to him what I just told you guys. And he's like, yeah, but on my end, the parcel says here, it's for delivery for Monday. And I was like, no, on my end, as I just showed you guys, it says delivery for me on Thursday to Friday. And he's like, oh, yeah, like that's just what we show customers. And like, it's just it's just a guess. But, it's actually 3 business days. So, it's probably Monday. He's like, on my system, it says here it's due for delivery on Monday. I could have killed him. I'm serious. I could have murdered him through the phone. I know it's not his fault. He just works there, so I didn't. But it took all my inner strength to not absolutely go nuclear because I hate fucking couriers. They don't do their job. They're fucking bullshit. They just don't deliver on time. They fuck around constantly. They don't fucking knock. They don't leave. They card you constantly, make you go pick it up. It's like, what are you paying for? Are you paying for delivery, or are you paying for some weird type of game of like pass a parcel where you have to go pick it up? I mean, it's just like I ordered something to my house, but now I have to go 30 minutes away to go pick it up. Ping does not like couriers. They are the bane of my effing existence. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna screw with any. Yeah, I don't know. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. No, our normal mail guy is pretty good. That's what I don't understand. Because if he sees something for me, he always makes sure I get it because he knows what I'm like, and he knows I don't like late parcels, so he always does pretty good. I don't know where the screw up happened here. I'm not sure where it all got messed up, but something happened. SP Mamas, YouTube keeps screwing up all the lives for me. Or does it? Is a courier? It's actually Australia Post, so it's like it's like USPS for you. Yeah, this is our version of USPS. So no, our one's not Korean. I think our guy's from the subcontinent somewhere. I don't know where from exactly. But, yeah, so that was my afternoon trying to find out where this $300 of 60th birthday gifts have gone, which is very annoying because now on Sunday, I don't have it to take with me. So I am pissed. He lodged Oh, it's funny. Sorry, they updated my tracking. They lodged a customer inquiry. Yeah, F you too, buddy. Alright, let's get on to true crime before Ping goes mental. I I may go mental. Oh, guys, it's just one of those days. It's one of those weeks. It really has been. It's been a weird, like, opposite sides of the spectrum. I've had a lot of good news this week, and I've had like the same amount of bad news. It's sort of been that type of week. I've had really good news, and I've had really crap news at the same time. All right, let's get this on. Hey, we're here. Good to see you. Good to see you. We got stories to talk about, I promise. Hey, April, how are you? Andrew, wouldn't it be great if the courier was Korean? I don't think he is. I don't think he is. No. SP Mama said I had the same issues with Amazon Prime lying to me that the package was lost in transit when it said it was out for delivery, and it says 5 days later now showed up the same day. Yeah. Thanks, Glitter. I appreciate it. I just, when Australia Post works good, it's really good, and when stuff goes wrong, it's really crap. Like they just like we're one of the only postal services in the world that don't have weekend delivery. So if you don't get your parcel on a Friday, you're screwed. You have to wait till Monday, maybe. Um, yeah, we're actually one of the weird countries who don't have a Sunday or Saturday delivery. I know in England they do. I know in the USA you guys do too. But down here, no, we're still like it's 1940 when people don't do anything on the weekend. That's what we have. You're in Montana in the US? Yeah. All right, let's get to the story before I kill someone. All right. So I find this story very fascinating for a number of reasons. Now, you may have heard of Liz Monahon. She was they describe her in a couple of ways: a researcher and a ship mechanic. Which one is she? I don't know. Um, they say so. She's at the U.S. research station McMurdo, which is 1,500 kilometers from the South Pole. I think I have a little map here. I can show you the different areas of the. Yeah, here we go. So these are all the different, like, sort of territories on Antarctica. So you have Sanae 4, which is South Africa, and we have Rothera, which is the UK. Not surprising that it's got the word Roth in it. And the USA has a couple. So they have Amundsen Scott, which is here, and they have McMurdo, which is on like the really. I guess that would probably be the closest to America would be McMurdo, and then there's one right in the center where they can plant a big American flag. And then Vostok is the Russian research station on this side here. So the two we're going to talk about today is this one, the South African, and McMurdo. So opposite ends of the spectrum, one on this side and one on this one. The first one is about McMurdo. And if you haven't heard her story before, I think it highlights problems in close quarter working when you're, I guess you could be male or female, it doesn't matter. But I'm guessing women probably have these problems a lot more because men can be jerks apparently. She's saying here that there was like this one guy that would consistently get drunk on base and then harass her, like sexually, physically. He would like threaten to like kill her and things like that, including saying to her, snitches get stitches, saying that if she talked to, upper level management, or the authorities, that he might hurt her. Now, this all starts because when you're trapped on a research station like this, I think this is which one is this? I'm not sure which one this one is. This might be the Russian one, but they all look very similar. Um, when you're trapped in like a three pod research station for, you know, many, many months, because these guys go out there for half a year at a time. So often they can't leave because the weather is so bad that they can't get any transport to come in. You get these giant ice storms and you get really bad weather for about half a year. So it takes quite a long time to, if something goes wrong, to try and evac someone. It's not easy. Anyway, they were saying that she was working as the ship mechanic at the US research station. And they're saying her horrifying experience has been cast back into the spotlight amid recent claims from a research group on the continent that they are trapped with a colleague who allegedly assaulted and threatened to kill one of his peers. That is the South African one. So they're saying the team of 9 scientists from South Africa are currently stationed on the Sanae 4. They're saying here, yeah, extreme weather makes it almost impossible, even though people have been calling to evac the entire crew due to the threats involved. They can't. So they're actually not due to come home until December. So they've got a long journey in front of them in the South African camp. But back in 2022, Monahon shared her experience on the McMurdo base on the opposite side of Antarctica, where she was isolated for several months with a small research crew. That team included a man named Zach Buckingham, a man from New Zealand who had a history of alcohol related criminal offending. So that says he likes to get drunk and, cause a lot of problems. They say Monaghan told how Buckingham quickly began to intimidate and threaten her, while he and his friends made sexual jokes about her and other women at the station. You would think when you get to this age, now I don't know how old they are, maybe probably even younger than Ping. You would figure that they would understand that you're doing a job. And while you can always say, relationships happen when you're in close quarters for, a long period of time, that does happen. But the other part of it shouldn't happen. This whole harassment and essay and, threatening her with sexual violence, that's not okay. To the point she said she was so afraid of him that she slept with a hammer in her bra. So she used to keep a hammer on her chest, and then she was worried that he would break in, and she would have to beat him to death with a hammer. That's how frightened she was at the time. It's pretty brutal. Danny says, um, SP Mama says, how do they not have psychological training and background checks? They do. So to go to these research trips, you have to pass several different psychological, behavioral analysis. I think a whole bunch of other things. I think they detail it down here if you want to know about it. You have to do a whole bunch of different things to get on the trip. Where is it? Yeah, down here maybe. Yeah. They say the long stretches of isolation. Ping, speak properly. Don't be so hasty. They say the long stretches of isolation and working in close quarters means that each researcher must undergo a series of background checks, physical, medical assessments, and psychometric evaluation before they are cleared for expedition. Well, how did they miss the guy that likes to get drunk and threaten women? That's what I want to know. Were they like, oh, it doesn't say he is like a psychopath. He passes the check. Attacks women, gets drunk all the time. Sure, that's fine. We don't look for that. We're just looking for psychopaths. He's not a psychopath. It's fine. Send him on the trip. But they're saying here, last week, a researcher on South Africa's base sent a worrying email claiming that one team member had been attacking them and was issuing death threats. The man in question is also accused of sexually harassing another researcher. They reportedly pleaded to be rescued, but an emergency evacuation operation would be at least 2 weeks to reach them if weather conditions remain stable. The author of the email Sunday, which was shared with South Africa's Sunday Times, wrote, regrettably, his behavior has escalated to a point that is deeply disturbing. Specifically, he physically assaulted, which is a grave violation of personal safety and workplace norm. Furthermore, he threatened to kill a person, creating an environment of fear and intimidation. It's very interesting how these two issues on very separate research bases are mirroring each other. It's almost like if you add people, alcohol, and women and men sometimes, and these people already have behavioral issues, that the isolation and working together is only going to make that come up more often and more frequently. And that's what it seems like. It seems like they exacerbate any previous behavioral defect that someone might have. So if you are already someone who gets drunk a lot and likes to harass women every now and then, very certain you're going to go on this trip and there's a lot of free alcohol, there's an open bar, there's a lot of off time. Those issues may reoccur and come up more frequently, which is pretty frightening if you're a lady. I don't know what it would be like to be trapped on this giant piece of ice and then have a male who you can't escape from, can't get away from, and have to work with due to how many people are there. Now, when the American lady, Monahon, back in, I think it was 2020 or 2021, when she had issues, they basically offered her some counseling and one night in a VIP room that was like segregated from everyone else. And they're like, you get back to work on Monday. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. They did the very bare minimum. They did not really take her they did not take her statements very seriously at all. Um, so yeah, it seems like these people that go on these trips, I think you're asking for people that may have some extreme personality anyway to want to be isolated for this amount of time with a very small team on a very remote research facility is probably not for everyone. It probably isn't. It is alarming that it's now happened twice where one for the USA and one for South Africa. Um, so from what I understand, South Africa is trying to play this down now. They're trying to say, "Oh, this was nothing like Monaghan. This was nothing like what happened to her. Everyone's cool. Everyone likes each other. They're all friends. They're all having fun. They're all having like snowball fights and eating dinner together." And you know what we did? We sent in some psychological services for all of them. We're making that available to them. I think if you lived in this type of research facility, you need that psychological help every day, not just like when someone is attacked. I think it should be prerequisite. You should have to do it anyway to keep your mental health in check. I mean, it can't be easy living out here. It really can't. So there's a little photo actually. I don't know if these are the same people, but there's the South African. pod behind them. There's a bunch of team. So this is about how big the team is. You have some people that work on the machinery. You have some people who do like scientific experiments, like they're scientists. You have some people who do like bar work, or they do cooking and cleaning and that type of thing. So you have a bunch of different people that do a bunch of different uh, like crossover type jobs on the base. So there's a photo. SP Mama says there was a horrible issue with a squid boat where something like 100 of the crew died and were murdered. It was so bad the horrible working conditions facilitated psychosis. Well, I think if you've ever watched the deadliest catch in Alaska, you would know that these guys run for a week at a time, 2 weeks, and they just work like 18, 19-hour days with very, very little, sleep or rest. They just kind of, you know, that's how they make their money. They got a short period window, and they have to make all their money very quickly. So they don't rest very often. They just fish and pull in the crab, and so yeah. Yeah, I used to like it too, but I think when the captain died, it wasn't as fun anymore. It wasn't as good. Wendy asks is what you would think the rest of the team would see to that. Yeah, I that's the thing I thought about too, right? How come there's not more of a like uh camaraderie? Why is there not like a ostracizing of the person doing this type of thing? Like, why is everyone else like, well, that's not cool, buddy. You go over there. We're all going to go this way, and you get to go sleep with the penguins. You go outside with the penguins, and we're going to stay over here. I find that interesting that there's not a lot of people that are protecting each other, even males, right? Even men. Like, why are they not banding together to basically push the person out who's being a jerk? And I find that, interesting. The details are still inky. Yeah. Glitter says, I missed it. So is she missing or did he? No, there's no murder. No one is missing. Just there's these allegations that have come up. Um, Monahon came back, so she's already come back. She came back a number of years ago, so her story is quite well known. But it's just interesting that this week when the South African story popped up, it is almost like a mirror image of what happened to her, and these two people and the bases, they don't know each other. So the fact that now you're seeing a replication is very concerning. So there's a photo of it, by the way, Monaghan. We don't have a photo of the people from South Africa. I don't think we have names. I think it's more like some people in this photo may be involved. I don't think we actually have names as such. But here I have a follow-up story for you. So yeah, very concerning. Yes, Sanae for. Actually, we might be able to go to the South African National Space Agency, and they can show you what it's like on the research facility. Yeah, let's have a look. What's it like living out there? Let's see if we can. Yeah, I'm going to pause the thing for the music or whatever. So this is a gym. This is their gym. They got a rock climbing wall, a bike, a treadmill, some barbells, a weight bench. That's it. That's all you get. You get some weights. Yeah, not a lot. And then you go outside, and it's snowpack. It's a lot of built up snow. So then they take you to the hangar. This is where they keep all their equipment for going out, snowmobiles and other type of machinery. Where are we in here? Yeah, another equipment room. They got generators to keep warm. Look, what's this? A rec room. A rec room? This is the bar. So this is like, oh, let's go back here. Yeah, show us the alcohol. All right, let me pause it there. So they do have like a little bar within the station, and apparently it's open quite frequently. So there's you got nothing to do. You've worked out all the time. You've done all your weights and all of that. You finished your work for the day. You've had some dinner. Well, what else are you going to do? You're probably going to go down to the bar, turn up some music, and have a few adult beverages. I'd say that is probably what everyone would do. All right, now they're saying this is where they keep the food. So it's like a storeroom here, a waste room. Okay, just random stuff to take away. This is their fridge. So you can see they have many, many potatoes and onions. Many, many. Look, they have heaps in the background. They have many, many onions. That's their kitchen. So they have a little tiny kitchen on board to prepare meals for everyone. A dining hall. What is this one? An office. Okay. So yeah, it almost looks like a ship. Like on the Deadliest Catch. Very similar, just bigger, just a lot bigger. Accommodation. So this is sort of where they stay. It almost looks like a jail, maybe a little nicer than a jail, but it's a bunk bed. I think there's maybe probably four to a room, and then some bathroom facilities, but the bedrooms are pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. So probably, yeah, 4 to a room. And then you get 2 on the bottom on either end, and then 2 on the top. The only way this might not be true, if this is a giant mirror and Ping can't see it. And then it's only 2. But I think it is 4. And then bathrooms, because that's always fun. And they got like a movie room. Is that a movie room? I don't know what that is. What is it? Let's listen.
Okay, next we're gonna check out the. Here we watch some movies, we watch some series, and we still do it old school, VHS. Okay, next.
Oh, it's nice to see the technology is, right up there. They have VHS. That is very 2024, 25. You know, can't go on a research trip without VHS. Not even DVD. They have VHS. Look at all the movies they have. I guess when people come on the trip, they may bring them and then leave them for other people and then go home. So over the years, they probably collected a bunch of them. TV lounge. So they got a lounge. That's what that area is. What else do they have? A sick bay. It's like you're in high school where you go to the sick bay. A doctor. Oh, they even got like a dentist and all sorts of things on here. You got a lab for doing technical experiments. You get a lot of different things. What is this? A seismic station for picking up like seismic activity. So yeah, you can see they have a lot of work. They even have a physics lab. So a lot of physics experiments out there, maybe. Water testing. Well, that's the big one. So you can drink the snow, maybe. Busy filling up the smelly. Yes, gotta love doing that.
Smelly, right? We've got 2 big tanks here. Each tank can take about 5,000 kilograms or 5,000 liters. Then we have a big base, a big tank and base as well that can hold about 37,000 liters. So So yeah, whenever we have a chance, we come, we fill up, and that provides us with the water we need.
So they must have a filtration system because if they're taking snow and then packing it into a tank and melting it, there must be some sort of filtration or UV to kill off all the germs and things like that. But yeah, there you go. There's sort of like an inside look to the life on that station for South Africa. And I think, when you're in such a you can imagine living here and you have to be with your attacker. So a person who is making threats to you, sexual and physical, and you have to be sort of here all the time, 24/7, forever, for about half a year. That is not that can't be fun. That must be very traumatic and frightening because it's like a horror movie. You can't go anywhere. You have nowhere to go. Like, where can you run to? Like, the polar bears are not gonna help you. You can't run outside and find a friendly polar bear. They're not gonna beat up your attacker for you. Imagine running out of ice cream. You could probably make it because it's so cold. You could probably, get eggs, milk, cream, sugar, and go outside with, like, a bowl and, like, whip it. You could probably make ice cream. You don't need a machine. You just go outside and then make it. Put like Oreos in it and like vanilla. You just make your own. Woman of Steel said I would invite him to leave with a shotgun. Yeah, I find it strange. The one thing I did not see was did anyone see in the video a brig? Like a jail? I didn't see one. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through. I didn't see like a jail like you'd have on a ship. I didn't see a brig. No, I don't see one. Hmm. Yeah, I don't see one actually. Maybe one of these rooms is designated as a jail, possibly. What about laws? Oh, that'd be interesting. What are the laws on Antarctica? Well, I'm guessing because the territory has been divided between different countries, it would be whatever. So if you're in the South African one, it would be based on the laws in South Africa. I'm not sure, but I can look it up in a minute. But I would say you probably take the laws from wherever you come from. So if you're in McMurdo, it's probably American. If you're in the Sanae, it's probably South African. If you're at the is it Volstoy? Or if you're in the Russian one, it's probably Russian law. Let me see actually. Laws on Antarctica. So they use a treaty system. That doesn't tell me anything though. I don't know. It says that they have a treaty, but it doesn't exactly say what that does. Hold on. I don't care about the cookies. Go away. What is it? There are a few places in the world where there has never been a war, where the environment is fully protected, where scientific research has priority. But there is a whole continent like this, and it is the land of Antarctica. And it's basically a nature reserve devoted to peace and science. That's pretty cool. Let's see. What can you do there, though? Mm, Doesn't tell you what would happen if you broke like, if you attack someone. It just more has, like it's more rules of, like, protecting Antarctica, not like not like what would happen if you killed someone. Yeah, it doesn't really tell me. Here, hold on. I'll I'll ask it the question. What happens? Yeah, actually, I wanna read this. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, I think Ping was correct. It's whatever country you come from. So, if you're on the UK one, it's UK law. If you're in the USA McMurdo, it's USA. And if you're in the South African one, it's South African law. It is interesting, yeah. Maria says, just joining now. Earlier reports were of a conflict at the station, I thought, and now this. Yes, we talked about that. It's not owned by anyone, but there are sort of areas that each country uh, sort of has. Yeah. So, yeah, very interesting. And I have no idea what you're supposed to do if you're a female in this particular, situation. So they say a researcher at an isolated station in Antarctica allegedly turned into a violent madman, leaving his team living in fear and revealing a terrifying culture of violence. This is at the South African one that we talked about. They said the unnamed male team member at the remote base was accused of attacking one of the South African crew's 9 researchers, threatening to kill another, and sexually assaulting 2 women. According to an urgent email from the base, the unstable man's actions had become deeply disturbing, and the scientists needed an emergency evacuation. The whistleblower revealed that the attacker physically assaulted Kelsey Maywash, the team's leader, and said the rampage created an environment of fear and intimidation. So I showed you the panel on my thumbnail, and here's the team members here. But we don't know exactly who the person is that is causing all the issues. But the team leader is up here, Kelsey. So we don't know exactly who that person might be, which is troubling. They said several Antarctic researchers have come forward in recent years to expose disturbing acts of violence and SA at bases throughout the frozen and empty continent. That is concerning. Very concerning when it's supposed to be about scientific discovery and pushing, the boundaries of human, you know, whatever. It's supposed to be about working together to further mankind, not about how many women and team members you can attack. It's supposed to be for science. For science. There you go, some team members hanging out. Wendy asked that these teams must be made of people from more than one country. Possibly. I'd say probably there would be. Just like when you go to the ISS in space, they often have people from other countries like Russia or Japan, America, the UK, stuff like that. Here you go. One of the teams in happier times. They look very underdressed for Antarctica. So maybe this is before they got to the cold part. Yeah, all right. Let me see if I can find anything on the actual new allegations. Hold on. Yeah, I'll take that and this. Yeah, I'm going to take you to the BBC.
A team of research scientists working in the Antarctic have reportedly made a desperate appeal for help after they say a colleague threatened to kill one of them. The South African team are totally isolated at the remote research base, thousands of miles from South Africa. Winter is fast approaching, and that means it will be months before the team can be changed. Here's our climate correspondent, Justin Rowlett.
The Sanae base is one of the most remote places on Earth. 10 people were preparing to spend the Antarctic winter here. The base has plenty of amenities, as this video tour taken 4 years ago shows.
And here we have the games room, right, where all the fun happens.
But extreme weather and 24-hour darkness meant the current team didn't expect to see another human being for 6 months or so.
Now today, the wind's about 30 knots and the temperature is about minus 28, minus 29.
Then, an email last week claimed there'd been a violent attack, according to the South African newspapers. The email reportedly said one team member had threatened to kill another, creating, it said, an environment of fear and intimidation. The South African authorities have confirmed there was an assault. It was a dispute over a weather-dependent task that required a schedule change, they said. It doesn't sound much, but those who've spent time in Antarctica say overwintering on a base can be an incredibly intense experience.
If you're there with just, maybe 10 other people as there were in Sanae, you get to know everything about the other person. You know exactly how they put their coffee cup down and what direction the handle points in. You know that they scratch their nose 3 times before they sit down. You know everything about them. And in the bad circumstances, it can start to irritate you.
The South African Environment Ministry has said it is responding with utmost urgency, but with temperatures falling and the weather worsening as the Antarctic winter draws in, getting a rescue team in will be very challenging.
Yeah, as the southern hemisphere goes into winter now, so will Antarctica, and it gets brutal down there in winter. You think the mainland is bad? the the Antarctica is like crazy. It's like probably going up north from America. It's probably very, very cold, very blizzard type conditions, a lot of snow, a lot of like minus 25, very, very cold. Very cold. But yeah, there you go. Hey, Cakes Boo, how are you, my friend? Texas, it's like True Detective season 4. A little bit, a little bit. That's what someone said in the article. They said it is very much like the movie The Thing. It is a little bit, it is. Hold on. Right. So there you go. Pretty incredible. And I agree with them that the Sinai, not Sanae, it would be very claustrophobic. It would almost be like having to stay with your family for, almost like lockdown. No. But yeah, pretty hardcore. Yeah, like cabin fever. It probably overtakes your mind. And they've done experiments on cabin fever, and it really does get to people. I'm guessing that's why they have a lot of things to stimulate your mind, like your research and a movie and different games and working out. And it's all designed to stop the monotony of it. So to stop you becoming like a one track, starting to lose it a little bit. Sure sounds like the movie. It does a little bit, yeah. It does a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to take you to So what's happening now? So what I understand is the South African government has, well, they're basically sweeping it under the carpet right now. Here, I'll show you. So Antarctic base under control after researcher accused colleague of assault. So they're basically saying there's nothing to see here. Go that way. Yeah, they said it sounds like the plot of a horror movie. Researchers stuck on a remote research base in Antarctica send out an email to the world pleading for help as a colleague is accused of assault. Yeah. Hold on. Who's okay? They say, yeah, his behavior has become increasingly egregious, and I'm experiencing significant difficulty in feeling secure in his presence, according to the newspaper that quoted the researcher who sent the email. You have to think about it, though. Imagine, you do a lot of training, a lot of preparation to go on this type of trip. A lot of psychological preparation as well. I've heard they do sort of like a practice run, but they sort of just isolate on land, like from in South Africa, and they learn how to control everything and do everything every day, many months before they go to Antarctica. So everyone's sort of prepared. Um, But I don't think they probably tell you how to deal with this type of thing. So at what level would it be for you if you were there and you were like, I think it's gotten to the point where we need to involve a journalist. Like that is a pretty high bar to reach and go, oh, I think we need to reach out to the outside of our team, to the outside of our leadership from our country, from our research company or whatever. You're basically putting out the flare gun. You're shooting up the flare, saying SOS, come and help us, because that's what else is it? It's a cry for help. I think to get to that level and think that there's no other option, it must be pretty bad. Wendy R says, and they think they want to put a colony in space. No, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to have cannibalism or something. Let's go here. Yeah. What else are they saying here about the Sanae? They're saying, yeah, like a real life horror movie. What do they say? The desperate email about a coworker they said violently beat, threatened, and essayed at least 2 others on the base. I mean, that's pretty bad. And then they say here, all crew members undergo psychometric tests before heading out, but you just can't predict how that will affect people in reality when there's no life for miles. Yeah. They say people only reveal who they are when they're exposed to extreme conditions. They're saying here, describing how the student refused to leave their tent on the expedition while they were stranded some 124 miles from the Sanae for. That's crazy. The worst is yet to come. Okay, let's read about this. Why is this doing that? Stop. They say the crew stranded until at least December on the 1997 built base, 2,500 miles from South Africa, including engineers, scientists, and a doctor. Yeah, someone asked what happens if someone has an injury or gets very sick. They have a doctor on board and a full medical area. Here, I'll show it to you. It's over here. Where is it? They've got a full medical. Yeah, here. They can do X-ray. They can do dental. They can do. See, they got an X-ray machine up here. They got like a little tiny hospital. So they've even got laughing gas. If you want to have a really great Friday night after the bar, sneak into the sick bay and steal the laughing gas. Yeah, so there you go. And they're the bathrooms but yeah, that's the medical clinic. That's the medical area. They can't watch me live, no. That would be egregious. That's right. Cakespoo says, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be a head case. I think we all would. I don't think I could do it. I don't like places where I can't leave. I'd want to leave. My number one thing when I get annoyed about something is I just want to get away for a minute. And this place, you can't go anywhere. You can't go outside. You can't go down to the local park and chill out. You can't go to the mall. You can just go up and down. That's it. You can go to sick bay. You can go back to the cinema. You can go to the workout place. That's about it. Hold on, guys. All right, sorry. Someone reached out and sent a PM. I wanted to reply to them quickly. It is the company you keep, maybe. Like a trapped rat. Wow. Sorta. What's this? No, that's not it. We don't want to do that. All right. Yeah, we have another little video here. Does this tell us anything new? Yeah, let's see what they have to say here. I have no idea what Straight Arrow news is, but we'll find out together.
A South African research crew studying the climate in the Antarctic is dealing with more than just extreme weather and ice. One researcher recently wrote an email obtained by the South Africa Sunday Times. It indicates the team of researchers is living in fear of one of their colleagues who has become violent. The email pleaded for the crew at what is called Sanae 4 base to be rescued, saying his behavior has escalated to a point that is deeply disturbing. The email alleges he physically assaulted somebody, threatened to kill another person, and has created an environment of fear and intimidation. The writer also said the same person sexually assaulted another researcher, and it is now, quote, imperative that immediate action is taken to ensure my safety and the safety of all employees, end quote. But taking immediate action back in South Africa will be extremely difficult. It takes about 2 weeks when the weather cooperates to reach the base, roughly 2,500 miles from the southernmost tip of Africa, located on a freezing hilltop. According to the Times, the team is entirely cut off and might be for another 10 months, where the average winter temperature is about minus 10 degrees and winds can reach 135 miles per hour. South Africa's environment minister now says he will speak to members of the group to make an assessment. Dion George said, quote, there was a verbal altercation between the team leader and this person. Then it escalated, and that person did physically assault the leader. You can imagine what it is like. It is close quarters, and people do get cabin fever. It can be very disorienting, end quote. He noted that researchers undergo psychological testing before they go to Antarctica because of the remote, harsh conditions. One professional explorer described it as a very lonely place that affects people's behavior. The team of about 30 researchers, including
I wonder if they detail to you, what are the risks? What are the things that can go wrong, including to yourself? What are the things that can happen to you? Can you get cabin fever? Can you have a mental instability or something like that? That would be very interesting whether they brief you on that. Let's see here. What else do we know about the station? It's located on the Go or Gough or Go. I have no idea. On the Marion Islands. It is located in a pretty cool area. Check that out. That is pretty awesome. On the edge of a cliff face. So they got a really high point. Imagine having to put this together. Imagine in 1997 when this wasn't even here and a team had to come out here, put up temporary housing, and then spend their time building this structure. So there was a team that probably went out there originally, and they had to build that while living in probably tents or something, something temporary. That would have been a hell of a job. Those people did a crazy mission. Wendy R said maybe one team member needs to be a psychiatrist. Maybe. Oh, okay. Yes, I do. There's been a few. There was a guy in somewhere up north from America who he had cancer and he had to self-administer a bunch of different like chemotherapy and stuff like that because there was no one else. It was just him. They got him the medication, but he had to do it all. It was pretty brutal, but he was a doctor. But yeah. Jerry Nelson in 1998. That's brutal. A biopsy for breast cancer. Jeez. Patty L says that would be only the most reasonable and responsible and most common thing in training for living in close quarters for a long periods of time. I agree. I think you'd have to do something, right? And you'd have to have someone who could, I don't know, repair sort of relationships and like talk people down, how to diagnose someone when they're got cabin fever or a mental break. It is probably a good idea. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I like how they're like, nothing to see here, all under control. We're fine. We're all good. Do not send help. We are fine. As where the people on board are like sending emails to the press going, help, help, we need help. And the government's like, no, everything's great. They're all friends. They're all having a great time. I think that is pretty irresponsible. Pretty irresponsible. Yeah, let's go up here. Yeah, all right. I want to go back to the video on the inside. Yeah. Let's go back to the down here, the living area. All right. Huh, McCain's mashed potatoes. They're pretty good. I've had them. All right, let's hear them talk about like what they eat and stuff.
We still have some carrots and we still have some veggies left over. The temperature in here is usually about 2 or 3 degrees. And in here is like a big freezer. Here we keep all our meats, everything that needs to remain frozen. And the temperature in here is usually about -10 or so. We all take turns to cook. Tonight, it's Tulani's turn. So this is our kitchen, and Tulani is busy preparing a nice meal for us. So whenever we cook, we need to cook for 9 people, all right? We have a main chef, and then 1 person assisting. This is our dining room. In the dining room, we have a screen that monitors some of the instruments, so that while you are having a bite, you can always keep one eye on your instruments to make sure everything is running fine. And we find ourselves in AB Link. Now we start getting the offices. Our comms engineer sits inside here, where he's got access to HF radios, VHF radios, UHF radios, GPSs, all things comms related. is handled inside here. I think you can come inside quickly. So we have VHF, UHF, and HF radios, and lots of testing equipment. This is also where we go outside. Each link has a big door, and this is our main entrance and exit to the base. Now today, the wind's about 30 knots, and the temperature is about minus 28, minus 29. So if you come outside with me, see we have some blowing snow again. Those vehicles there are called the Challengers. That's what we use to do our trades. We transport supplies and waste and all those kinds of things from the base to the shore to be either loaded onto the ship or offloaded from the ship. We use those vehicles to traverse the ice. Okay, so in terms of accommodation, where we sleep, we have rooms in A block and we have rooms in B block. Currently we're in B block, and the rooms here are quite spacious. 2 bunk beds, so four people in a room in B block. You have your cupboards, you have some drawers under the bed, and then your 4 beds. So bathrooms here, this is the B block bathroom, and it's the basics. You have some toilets on the right, you have some showers on the left, and you have your mirrors and your basins. So this is the Sanae cinema. Come inside.
So you can see just how cramped it is. You basically have like one long walkway, and then it's rooms off either side of it, and that's about it. And you got a movie room, a bar, a kitchen, a research area, an outside area, a storeroom. It's pretty interesting. But Burn Popcorn says, seems like a setting for one of those horror movies. Yeah, with like an Eddie. A Yeti that lives outside and then like taps on the window at night. That would be very freaky. Rachel says, that's what I said, that he's that bad, he needs to be kept away from. Yeah, I find it interesting that they don't have like a brig. And if they don't have a brig, why don't they? Because your risk of having someone who may go, backwards or sideways is pretty high. So how come they don't have a area where they can isolate a person for the rest of the trip? Like you feed them and, X, Y, and Z and check on them. But how come there isn't something like that? The other part of me says, if you did that, is it open to abuse? Is it open to someone, pretending to be the king of the research hub or whatever and being like, whoa, you've gone a bit crazy. Let's put you in the brig. Oh, you can stay there for 5 weeks. Like, it's sort of like, I wonder if that's why they don't have it, because it almost, asked to be abused. April B says, I don't think I could survive there. I would have a mental breakdown. Or lock them in their own room. Well, I don't think they, as you saw in the video, I don't think they have like separate rooms. Here, where is the accommodation here?
In B block, and the rooms here are quite spacious. 2 bunk beds, so four people in a room in B block. You have your cupboards, you have some drawers under the bed, and then your 4 beds. So bathrooms here, this is the B block bathroom, and it's the basics. You have some toilets on the right, you have some showers on the left, and you have your mirrors and your basins. So this is the Sanae cinema. Come inside. Here we watch some movies, we watch some series, and we still do it old school, VHS. Okay, next we're going to check out the hospital. Hi Abby, can we come inside?
You are welcome to come inside.
This is Dr. Abby Payton.
Hello everybody.
Our team doctor, as well as our team leader, and also a Sanae veteran, S50, S54, S55, S56, and this year S59. She's also the only person to have ever done 3 overwinterings in a row.
Insane.
Yeah. pretty insane.
I have been taking an X-ray recently, X-ray machine over here, and we've been viewing Pierre's hand. I've got a lovely new digital machine. Moving round to my right is our dental facilities. You can see we're pretty well set up there. We also have a nice little sick bay bed, quite a bit of emergency equipment. I have an oxygen cylinder over here. I have an autoclave machine over here. The reason why I need an autoclave machine is because we have our own theatre in Sanae, which is right through here. So reasonably well equipped with all emergency equipment and resuscitative equipment.
And this
So there you go. You even saw they have a sort of one person theater room, so they can do medical, theater. They can repair you. They have the technology. They can repair you. Patty says an isolation for illness too. Yeah, but if someone is dangerous, I think the majority rules, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I would have thought. But then again, is it still open to abuse? And what if there's like a gang or clique mentality that develops within the group? Is it possible that that gets in the way of like a fair system, and you end up like throwing someone in the brig who, isn't supposed to be there, but it's all because they're sort of like a, like high school, like in high school where you had like the mean girls. What if that happens on the research station, and then you're like, oh, we're gonna put Jenny in isolation for 5 months because she deserves it. Jenny's a giant bitch, so we're gonna put her in isolation. Guys, hold on, Muffin. Guys, hold on. All right, sorry about that. Muffin's daily cameo. Yeah, he's here. Muff, hey, come here. Do you want to come be on the thing? Muff, hey, buddy, come here. Come on. You gonna say hello? Come on. You wanna come up? No. Okay. No, he wants to go play with He wants to go play with Rory. So they're off playing in the other room. I don't know what they're doing, but they're running up and down, playing chasey or something. They like to run around, and he'll chase Rory, and then Rory chases him, and they jump over everything. And so he wants to go play with her. Jojo says Jenny gave her number to everyone, still gets called to B. That's right. Patty L said abuse or threatening another life isn't the same as bullying or ganging up. It's a safety issue if someone is dangerous to others. That's true. Glitter says Muffin's like, nope, you just got onto me. I'm not coming over there. He did come over. He never says no to Dad, but he wants to go play. So yeah, hi Muffin, bye Muffin. He's off again. I don't know where they went. They were all in here, and then they're all gone, and they're in another room. Who's that? Hey. I don't know who that is. Rory, come here. I can hear Rory over here somewhere. Marilyn says 09, yeah. That's right. Glitter says my cats like to act crazy at night. Yeah, Muffin likes to, at like 2 a.m. in the morning, he'll start like, he knows when we go to bed. And when we go to bed, he's like, right, Mummy and Daddy are gone to bed. Now I can be a bastard and really stir Rory up. So when we go to bed, he absolutely torments Rory, like to no end. And you just hear it. All you'll hear is like whack, 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 meow, 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 meow. And then you'll hear Rory, like Rory makes this wailing noise when she doesn't want Muffin to be around her. And you just hear this wailing noise from Rory. And we're like, oh, they keep waking us up. So we have to get up and go rescue Rory and then bring her to the bed so that she is protected. Because Muffin's just a jerk. Like, Muffin will just antagonize her over and over and over and over. Won't you? Hey, here you are. Muffin. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Hey. Hey. You gonna come up? No? No, okay. No, he wants to play with her again. He's off. He does this thing where he hides behind different objects and he pretends like, well, he thinks that Rory can't see him. And I'm like, buddy, she's not that dumb. Like, she knows you're a cat and she knows who you are. It's not like you can hide behind a piece of cardboard and be like, I am invisible. You will never see me. I am now one with the cardboard. But he likes to think he's invisible. Jojo says, so funny he waits for no parents. He does. He literally knows when we go to bed, but so does Rory. And Rory's more naughty because she gets into the food. So if we leave anything out that's edible, she will get it and she'll tear it apart and she'll eat the food inside. So the other day I left like a tiny piece of like cake in a Snaplock bag and I put it on top of the bench. And I came back in the morning and all over the floor was like cake crumb everywhere. It was just all over the floor. There was icing over the, smeared on the floor. There was like plastic bits everywhere where she had chewed through the bag. Oh, she is a very naughty cat. Muffin's naughty to her in a behavioral way. Rory's naughty with food. If you give even the ounce of food somewhere, she will find it. She is food motivated. She just likes food. Glitter says, my cats play hide and seek. We walk around, ask each other where the cat is, and they act like they're hiding. Yeah, they do that too. But we can see them, but we pretend we can't, and they'll jump out at us. Yeah, they do the same sort of thing. They like hide like behind the couch, and then like you walk past and they're like, oh, ha! And you're like, yes, very scary. They are entertaining, except for when they try and kill you, which Muffin tries to kill me at least 3 times every day. He like tries to trip me. He tries to, he just tries to get my feet. Yeah, they're very, very quirky, both of them. They each have their different things. Like I said, Rory's food motivated. Muffin is Rory motivated. He's motivated to annoy Rory. That's what he likes to do. Glitter says, Kai is very naughty. Sometimes she walks around and we can just tell that she's trying to get in trouble looking for something to get into. I swear they are like children. Yep. These guys are now almost 10 years old, both of them. And they still act like they are about 2. They still act like they are kittens. Woman of Steel said, my cat is Ghost. She appears and disappears in a split second. She also oozes sweetness out of every pore. Rory is the very loving one. Rory's very, very sweet. She likes being pat, and she'll just lick all your face and she'll smooch you to death. Muffin likes pats as well, but only a little bit. You can pat him, and then when he gets overstimulated very quickly, so you can like pat him a little bit, and then he's like bite, bite, bite. But Rory will do it for hours. You can pat her for, she keeps wanting it. So you can like pat her for like 40 minutes and then she'll be like, hey, don't leave. There's more patting to be done. She's very, very patty. I hate morning says my dogs will open the refrigerator if it gets too hot and we forget to turn the aircon on before leaving for several hours. That is so funny, but also so dangerous. Glitter says if we don't get up at a certain time, put food in their bowl, even if they don't want to eat, they will terrorize me. Yeah, Rory does that. She will sit on the bed and just meow, or she'll find things that are very loud, like plastic, and she'll just claw them and like rustle them, and she'll be like rustle, 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 like she'll be like trigger, 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 and she'll be like wake up, it's food time. Does she? Yeah, she's hooked me a few times. Yeah. Oh, she does that thing where she like goes like that, and she'll hold your hand. She does that. Patty L said, my pup follows me everywhere and loves to be petted constantly. So does Rory. Where is she? Rory! Hold on, I'll see if I can get her to come. Alright, she's coming. Raw, come on. Hi, baby. It's alright. Muffin won't get you. It's alright. It's alright. Hi, girl. Do you want to come up? Yeah, come here. There you go. There's the big fluffy cat. There's the big fluff ball that you don't see that often. You guys see Muffin a lot, but that's the big fluffy one. There you go. All right. SP Mama says I have to put the tinfoil on the edges every couple of months so they stop going on the counters with muddy paws. I should do that. Patty L says animals are such a gift from God, unconditional love. I mean, I don't know about unconditional love, but I think they think you are unconditional food and that they're like, hey, feed us, feed us. Glitter says dogs are so sweet. They are different than cats. They're so smart, just like cats, but they don't try to make you want to pull your hair out. Yeah, Rory. What's wrong? Come on, it's all right. He's not going to hurt you. She wants to sleep under the table here, but oftentimes Muffin, because he sleeps on a chair right. You guys can't see it, but he sleeps right here. If Rory comes through here and wants to sleep on my feet, he'll like beat her up and be like, hey, that's my dad. Get out of here. Hey, baby, what's wrong? Hi, sweetheart. See, she just likes a pat. She's come over for a scratch. Hey, Bubba. What you doing? Get him. Get Muffin. Hey, beat him up. I think she thinks I'm going to give her food because I called her over. Every time I call her over, she gets biscuits. So she probably thinks she's going to get some food. I Hate Morning says cats don't want anyone to know how smart they are. I swear to God, you could hide food anywhere and Rory will find it. She will find anything you leave. Biscuits, chocolate, cake, bread, sandwiches, pizza, anything. You will find. Last night I had pizza for dinner. And so when we throw out like scrap food, we have to bag it up into like a freezer bag. I accidentally left it on the table, and I came back in the morning and she'd eaten it. She'd pulled it down, opened up the plastic, and ate the crust of the pizza. Like that's how mental she is. And it's not like we don't feed her. She gets good food too. A lot of food. Mm. All right. Should we do more crime now that we've done this one? It's a very interesting story, though. I really believe that, we may hear more about Sanae or Sanae or whatever you call it. All right. Sorry. Bloody Rory. Glitter says, I love hearing about you guys' pets, so yeah, I wish they'd jump on the she actually did. Before I started the show, she jumped up here and sat in front of the camera. But I put her down because I was like, well, we're gonna do the show. So I hate morning says my cat chirps at us because my partner was vision impaired. She didn't want to be stepped on. Yeah, these two get under my feet constantly. They've almost killed me several times. Several. All right. By the way, just for the record, you know, Australia Post, you suck. You suck. All right. Let's see what else I have on my list of stories. Okay. Let's see if I have any updates for you. Oh, did we get a one about that missing woman? I'll have to look that up in a minute, but huh, that's very interesting. So you remember we spoke about the Republican senator yesterday, Justin? Well, apparently today he resigned from his position. So I didn't know that, but apparently he has stepped down as a Republican senator. Yeah, he resigned. Yeah, let's go to the Laredo Morning News. They say here the Minnesota state senator resigns after he was charged with soliciting a minor for prostitution. So if you missed it yesterday, he's a Republican state senator in Minnesota. He was charged, he was caught in a sting operation pretending to speak to an underage girl. And it was really a cop. It was really a cop. So he was not very clever. Sorry, Rory was jumping up somewhere that she shouldn't. But yeah, we spoke about him yesterday, and he had been talking to a 17-year-old who was not actually a 17-year-old. It was actually a cop doing a sting operation. Yeah, it says he resigned under fire Thursday after being charged with soliciting a minor for prostitution, stepping down before the Senate could vote on whether to expel him. They say Justin, is it Ichon of Grand Rapids, submitted his resignation in a brief email to Governor Tim Walz, saying, I must focus on personal matters at this time. It has been an honor to serve in the Minnesota Senate. His former colleagues expressed relief at the decision. They said decisive action was needed to be taken, and we did not want this to cloud up the issues of the budget going forward. And that's the thing that Minnesotans really need. So there you go. He stepped down from his position. But when they arrested him, they found 2 cell phones, a condom, and $129 in cash. That's, you know, disturbing. And yeah, he was asking the 17-year-old things like, I saw your post. Chance you're still available tonight. And what's a guy got to do to get with the hottest girl online tonight? Probably be 17. That's how you do that. You be the same age as the 17-year-old. Oh, they did? They found her? Really? Oh, hold on. I want to talk about that. Is she alive? I'm guessing no. I don't see that she was found. Yeah, I don't see that she was located. It's Marion County, right? Marion County? Yeah, Marion County. Oh, yeah, they did find her. They found her a while ago, like a week ago. Okay, there's not much information. They basically said they found her deceased. So that's what we figured. We figured that she probably fell into the water with the dog. Now they said the dog looked like it had been through an absolute trauma. He came back soaking wet. He looked very like stressed out, and they were like, "Well, it's probable that while walking her dog, she fell into the water. And then the dog was on a lead, so the dog may have had to struggle to get out of the water. And when it eventually did, it went home. But of course, its mum is not at home. The mum was in the in the lake. So, yeah, they did actually find her deceased, unfortunately. You did? What? Here we go. Oh yeah, it's the one I put on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, no news articles though. No like big news article for her, but they did find her, so that's really good. Vivos los pingüinos? Okay. Hey Joseph, how are you? Hi. Yes, hi to you. How are you? Woodland Creature says, buy PDF file, Senator. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yes. That is really good. Happy to hear that she was located. Very sad that she died that way after getting to her age. I don't see any update on where they found her, but it would have had to have been in the water. I'm almost sure of it. Yeah, I don't see any big update for her. Sherry was last seen March 4. Rory, I swear. Hey, Rory. Yeah, Pinguenos is a type of Mexican chocolate cupcake. I did not know that. I did not know that. Yeah, I think it had to have been because she was seen right near here, FM 729 in Hurricane Creek here. If I can show it to you, I will. No. Fuck. Like, hold on. Yeah, I'll grab it for you. Hold on, guys. All right. Let's take you there. So this is FM 729. This is the road right here. And this is Hurricane Creek. Doesn't look like much of a creek to me. It looks like a giant river, but that's what it is apparently. So she was found right around here. She was last seen right around here somewhere. And you can see this giant waterway, right? You could imagine. So if I zoom out, you'll see how big this water is. It goes from like here out into here. Look at this. It is gigantic. There's that little bridge all the way where it says Hurricane Creek Park over here. Look at this giant waterway. It is monstrous. It is one of the biggest like inland water systems I think I've ever seen in America. It's huge. So if she did fall into here, I mean, you can understand why it took a while to find her, because it's a large search area, very large. So yeah, Hurricane Creek right through here. Yeah, so I think this is Hurricane Creek Road here. So somewhere around here, they thought, or they said 729 in Hurricane Creek, which is right here. So she may have been walking the dog like around here somewhere and then fell into the water, which, unfortunately does happen. It does happen. And you can see it's a bit of a steep fall off into the water. So if you fell and tripped, you could easily find yourself in that water very, very easily. So, look, I'm glad they found her, but it's a pretty sad end to the story. It really is. All right. Hey, why'd you change your name? Or is it a different account? April B said that's a large body of water. Yeah, it's huge. No, it doesn't look like a very safe place to walk. No. So she was missing for a while. She was missing since March 4. So a few weeks. She was been missing for a few weeks. And then it sounds like they finally found her or located her recently. Yeah. I'm just trying to see if there was an update. Let me go here. Past week. Oh, here. Dallas Police Department. If we go down. No, that's not it. Hmm. Oh, okay. I thought I found one from the Dallas police, but doesn't seem so. It's let me go here. Let's have a look together. Is there anything on the Dallas police page? No. Yeah, I don't see anything about her. No, and that was around March 4. Okay. So no, nothing that I can see. It does look like a dam. Yeah. So if we go over here, that looks like a dam, but I don't know if it is. Is that a dam? Yeah. Right there. Where does it go? That might be an emergency spillway. That's sort of what that looks like. There's another one here too. There you go. It's ejecting water from the big dam, and then it ejects it down here. So definitely looks like it. Lako Pines is what it's called. And then it sort of travels all the way through here. So there you go. I don't know. Does it have another exit? Let's have a look. I don't see another like giant water like fall. I kind of want to know what that is though. What is that? It's the weirdest looking. It looks like whatever it is, it's full of algae. It's full of like green algae. I don't know what that is. It's trippy as hell though. Yeah, I don't know if I can find another one. Let's see. No. Not on that side anyway. No, it looks like that's the only one. Looks like this one right here. It's about the only water release. So there is one there, and it looks like there is a bigger one here. When they actually open it, can be quite big. How often they open it? Because look down here, it has no water. It's dry. So I don't know how often they open that, but every now and then when it rains, yeah, like a reservoir, yeah. Makes me want to call somebody and ask. It's weird because they're saying she was found March 5. I never saw that she was found that early. No, I what? I never saw that. And we covered it a couple of times. Hold on, let me show you if we go here. So people are saying that she was found only a week ago. Yeah, I hear that she was found a week ago. Yeah, what does it say here? Shared, rest in peace. March 14. March 14 is when it was announced that she was found. March 14, so a week ago. Yeah, March 4 is when she went missing, but it says she was found on March 14. So she was missing for about 11 days, 10, 11 days in the water. Texas Roadrunner says U.S. Army Corps of Engineers operate the dam and levees. That is probably true. Glitter says tomorrow morning I'm going to call the sheriff's department and find out for sure. I'll let you guys know tomorrow night, but there should be some updates on the news. All right. What is going on in Antarctica? We did that before. We already did that. KLTV out of Tyler. KLTV. Yeah, I hear 1 week ago. Yeah, no, that's weird. I don't. Yeah, I don't see anything for KLTV, just that she had been missing. Yeah, I do see that she was found on the 14th or something though. Yes, it is. Guys, hold on 1 sec. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Yeah, ask them for me and let me know what they say. Because they don't give a report on the missing people in America one either. They just said, update, sadly found deceased. But no other details other than that. So maybe it came from a family member or something like that. Okay. All right. I just want to check for our missing person from yesterday and see if we have any update. Let's see. That's interesting. Let's go to Florida. Let's go to Florida. Because why not?
Yeah, it's pretty odd. I don't know. It's like a local Mike Tyson or something.
A teenager is accused of biting a man's ear off during a fight on Fort Myers Beach. Tonight, Gulf Coast News reporter Blaine Montgomery is walking us through this brand new video of the beatdown.
This video shows the fight between two guys going at it on the sand Monday afternoon. Jay Merrick watched the chaos that unfolded by Lonnie Kai. This fight went on for several minutes between 18-year-old Jack Turner and Jawan Black.
Someone flagged down a Lee County deputy here after the fight where he noticed the victim's ear bitten off. I spoke with the victim today as he recovers in the hospital. He's speaking with doctors about his treatment options.
Witnesses told deputies Turner used racial slurs, and that's what started the fight.
And he needs to go to jail for that.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Deputies arrested Turner for felony battery. On Fort Myers Beach, Blaine Montgomery, Gulf Coast News.
A teenager who bites off someone's ear in a beach fight. Why? I don't know. They're saying a chaotic Fort Myers Beach altercation resulted in one person losing his ear and another person being arrested by Lee County deputies. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, the deputy was called to a fight near the intersection of Alva Drive and I Street on Monday evening around 5 p.m. When the deputy arrived, Jawan Black told them he was involved in a physical altercation and a portion of his left ear had been bitten off. The victim was transported to the Gulf Coast Hospital for treatment. Deputies viewed video of the incident captured by a bystander while on the scene. According to the LCSO report, it showed the victim lying face down in the sand with the suspect, identified as 18-year-old Jack Turner, mounting his back. Turner could be seen striking the victim in the back of the head with a clenched fist. He then grabbed the victim by the hair on the back of his head, pressing it into the sand. The victim said he pulled the victim's head up and appeared to bite the victim's ear, causing a traumatic auricular amputation. Auricular. They say a witness told deputies she was walking on the beach with the victim and others as Turner started calling the victim racial slurs. She said Turner approached the victim from behind and struck him. According to the report, she asked the victim if he was going to allow that to happen. The victim then took a fighting stance and the physical altercation began. Both Turner and the victim fell to the ground and the fight was broken up by bystanders. The witness said she saw the victim's ear had been bitten off when he got up from the ground. Turner was arrested on felony battery charges and booked into the Lee County Jail. Gulf News spoke with the victim who is recovering in hospital. Black is speaking with specialists about his treatment options with his ear. What the hell? Why would that be your first line of attack? That is very strange. Jack Turner, let's have a look. Yeah, it was a spring break fight. Let's see if we can find anything else on it. Maybe we can go to a Fox 13 in Tampa and learn more. If it'll load for us. No, it's not going to load. Yeah, I don't want to watch that. Here's his mugshot though. Here's the Lee County mugshot of the guy accused of biting off the other guy's ear after yelling racial slurs at him. Someone egged him on? I don't know. I think it was just him. Snapcrackle Bob says, I feel bad for the victim, but I'm glad no guns or knives were used. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. Nutty behavior. I definitely think so. Yeah, he needs a haircut, right? He needs a haircut. He's got the he's got the bum fluff on the upper lip. He's got the crazy hair. He definitely looks like, you know, he may have a little bit of fentanyl in his pocket. He looks a little fentanyl. He looks like he may have a little bit of fentanyl hiding away in his rectum, in his jail pocket. I'd be checking his jail pocket when he was put in jail. He may have some fentanyl hidden in there. Joseph says a felon at 18 will be seeing him again. Probably when he bites off the other ear. When they get in a fight again and he bites off the other one. Gayla says his eyebrows look plucked. They do look a little thin. He's got the crazy eyes. He's got the crazy eyes going on, which don't match the very thin mustache and the crazy buffy hair. He's got all the wrong options going on here. The wrong styling options. He looks like a very cracked out Ronald McDonald. He's like, if Ronald McDonald was a human and didn't have red hair, this might be him at 18. That might be actually him. Yeah, so he's probably going to be going to jail. The fact that he changed that young man's life forever, you know, he has to have plastic surgery on his ear to make it look normal again. That's pretty horrific. Bit off his ear like he was Mike Tyson. I want to see if we can get a here, Jawan Black. Let's see if we get a photo of the victim here. No, that's not it. No. No. I can't seem to find a photo of the what happened during it. Yeah, can't seem to find it. But it's called a traumatic auricular amputation. That's what it's called, auricular. What is that? It probably means your ear's off. Let's see. Auricular. Ugh. No, I'm good. I don't want to see that ever again. Ugh. I thought it was like Mike Tyson where he just took the top bit here. No. Do you know what that means? Auricular amputation? That means like the whole thing came off. That means like the whole thing came off and the dude just has a hole in his ear, like hole in his head. There's no ear. The ear's off. Ugh. I just saw photos of it. No. Ugh. I don't want to see that again. That means like, yeah, the whole thing came off. Yeah. Why would he do that? What the hell? How can you do that to someone else? No, they didn't. No, they did not. Yeah, so that's what that means. It means the entire circumference of the ear has been pulled off. It's a very strange injury. Very strange. All right, let's see what else is going on in Florida. Anything interesting? Oh, that's very sad. Apparently, a 12-year-old boy drowned in Winter Haven Thursday afternoon in Polk County.
Here at 10, a sad ending to a fun day at the lake. After a day in the sun out on the water, it turned into a frantic search for a 12-year-old boy who drowned in Lake Roy in Winter Haven. Fox 13's Evan Moon brings us the latest on the investigation and that search from Winter Haven.
It's spring break and kids want to go swimming, but unfortunately, when the weather turns like today and there's 30-mile, it can be dangerous. Now a family is mourning their 12-year-old son. A father was out fishing with his two sons and his nephew during spring break when the kids asked to go swimming in Lake Roy.
Our hearts break because Dad was doing what dads should do, spend time with their children. So certainly he thought swimming in the lake next to the boat would be fine. Unfortunately, it turned out tragic.
30-mile-per-hour wind gusts created choppy waters, and the boys tried to get back to the boat. His 9-year-old brother and 10-year-old cousin making it back, but 12-year-old Noah Gomez couldn't. His dad trying to pull him on his back, but Noah slipped off under the water. The other boys called 911 from the boat.
It was all hands on deck. We were doing the very best that we could to try to find Noah, but unfortunately, he had already slipped underneath the water.
Search boats, dive teams, helicopters, aerial and underwater drones, all dispatched by local law enforcement, finding Noah's body in 2 hours, 18 feet deep. We spoke with a resident living by the lake for 23 years. She had never seen a drowning here before.
Even windy as it is today, we don't normally see anyone, even on boats, in this type of weather. A child that's no longer with us. It's heartbreaking, and I can only imagine what the parent may be feeling now. A loss of a child is like no other.
Unfortunately, the sheriff said these kids were not wearing life jackets. He said, although they might be old enough to legally go without one, it is always better to be safe. A local YMCA executive also stressed the importance of teaching swim safety.
I think immediately people have to know their skill set, right? What they can really do, where they can be the safest. Don't go into the water if you know there's heavy currents, if there's a lot of waves. Even in a pool, if you're not a strong swimmer, don't go into water that would be above your shoulders.
Not only should you wear life jackets, but the sheriff says check weather forecasts before you go out on the water. In Polk County, Evan Moon, Fox 13 News.
That is very sad. A 12-year-old kid ain't going home to his parents. That you never want to hear about that. That's an awful like spring break type thing. Yeah, they said the 12-year-old boy who disappeared while swimming in Lake Roy in Winter Haven was found on Thursday. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said a man took his two sons and a nephew out on a boat to swim and fish. Judd said the water was choppy and the wind was strong, and the 12-year-old boy ended up drowning. They say the 9-year-old, 10-year-old, and 12-year-old jumped into the water to swim when they started having trouble swimming in the water because of the wind and choppy conditions. The 9 and 10-year-old were able to get back onto the boat. The 12-year-old did not. That's when the father of the boy jumped into the water to save his son. He managed to get the boy on his back, but as he was swimming back to the boat, the boy slid off his back and went under the water. The child's body was recovered and brought back to the shore. Unfortunately, deceased. The child has been identified as Noah Gomez of Winter Haven. He was 12 years old. Awful, but yeah, Grady Judd is pretty cool. Maybe. Yeah, no life jackets. It's pretty concerning. 30-mile-per-hour winds. That's probably not swimming weather. Probably not the weather you want to go for a swim. Rachel said, I think people don't realize how strong the currents get when the wind is blowing. Yeah, it picks up and it makes it very uncontrollable. Makes it very hard to keep control of your own body through the water. It's pretty brutal. All right. All right. All right, my ladies and gentlemen. We just got through the almost to the 2-hour mark, and it's 5 p.m. here, so that means I have to go for the evening, but I love you all. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday night, so we should have some fun tomorrow night. We should try get on I don't know if I can. We'll try get on a little earlier tomorrow if we can. And we'll have some fun for Friday night for TGIF, okay? Hey, I love you all very much. To the people who support this channel, I appreciate it a lot. This trip out to the trial has just been like one problem after another, and the people who help support the channel financially with donations are definitely helping out and giving us a few more options to do certain things when we're there. So I very much appreciate that. Like Woman of Steel, who donated last night, I appreciate that a lot. And from tomorrow until we go to trial, we're going to be bringing back the ending videos so I can say thank you to the people who helped get me there. So to the people who helped fund it and, you know, got me out to the trial, I will be doing the ending video to the show again from tomorrow. So we've been working on it for a couple of days. So if you've helped out the channel, donated, your name will be in the video, the ending video to the live show every night again. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. So if you're one of these people that have donated it since Monday, your name will be in there. And then we'll keep adding to it as we go along. All right. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Yep, I'll see you tomorrow. I will. Thanks, Wendy. Good night. Thanks, Woman of Steel, April B, Rachel, Gayla. Who else is here? Joe, good to see you, buddy. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.